Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Harakal Kadesh, double honors to the apostles and elders of great most honorable rule well, and Shalom to all the brothers in the way to sent me truth. Yes, so you had the WEF begin their meeting, I believe yesterday. And the big thing you had getting spoken about was this whole disease X, which is it's funny because this is something that's spoken about, like what you call it. Bill Gates mentioned it. Oh, like basically when C19 was still a thing, and it's funny that it's now just got like a designation kind of a thing. So I read it. So this is on Metro. It says Disease X, the fake pandemic stoking a fire of right-wing conspiracies. It says the next pandemic could be caused by something we haven't even discovered yet, but this hypothetical disease has already sparked a firestorm on social media. And I think it was trending in the UK at least. I think it was like 30,000 tweets. There was a few other things trending just generally around like the WEF and whatnot. And it's showing like these, now people kind of, keep an eye on these things, and, because as soon as the lockdowns and whatnot happened, then these men were saying, we got an opportunity and etc. These things have been highlighted. So now it's anything they say, you just be like, okay, you look at it like, okay, what, are they lining up what they're looking to do in future? And for this thing, this is something that's already been mentioned from before, like I said. So reading it says, health leaders are meeting at the WEF in Davos on Wednesday to discuss ways to prepare for disease X, a term coined by the WHO in 2018 to describe the unknown hypothetical pathogen that could cause the next pandemic. According to some experts, disease X could result in 20 times more fatalities than the C pandemic. Yeah, it's basically like the same thing What's His Face was mentioning. Because was it Bill Gates was mentioning. So it says what Professor Dame Sarah Gilbert, principal investigator at the Pandemic Sciences Institute at the University of Oxford tells Metro that disease X is one of several future pandemic threats that scientists are working to understand. Scientists believe disease X could be caused by a zoonotic virus, a V that jumps from animal to humans. And Professor Dane Gilbert says the unknown pathogen could likely be something we haven't yet discovered. Probably the greatest risk. There was another one as well. Are we prepared? Because I think maybe it's because this is the same thing that Bill Gates was talking about. Because he said, says on CNBC, and this is from what 2022. I think you mentioned 2021 and 2022 as it was tapering off as well. So that's been mentioned a few times because Bill Gates says sea risks have dramatically reduced, but another pandemic is coming. Says Bill Gates said Friday that the risks of severe disease from C19 have dramatically reduced, but another pandemic is all but certain. You say all but certain, like, and it's funny because said speaking to CNBC's Hadley Gamble at Germany's annual Munich Security Conference, Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, said that a potential new pandemic would likely stem from a different pathogen to that of the C family. But he added that advances in medical technology could help the world do a better job fighting it if investments are made now. So he says, 2 years into the C pandemic, Gates said the worst effects have faded. Okay, this is the point. So, however, Gates said that in many places that was due to the V itself, which creates a level of immunity and has done a better job at getting out to the world population than we have with the jump shots. He said the chance of severe disease, which is mainly associated with being elderly and having obesity or diabetes, those risks are now dramatically reduced because of the exposure. He said. So the thing that's the thing is like it's like the mortality rate. It was overlapping. It was basically if you had other issues, if you're old as fuck and decrepit, if you already had, you're overweight, you already had other issues. That's where it became a thing. For the general, for the regular dude, it doesn't seem like it was anything particularly dangerous. So I'd say next time we should try and make it instead of 2 years, we should make it more like 6 months. Gates said adding standardized platforms, including messenger RNA technology, could make that possible. The cost of being ready for the next pandemic is not that large. It's not like climate change. If we're rational, yes, the next time we'll catch it early. And then there was another one we were saying like someone making in a lab, it being weaponized is the bit a big part of the risk as well. Which when they're talking about saying like it's gonna be deadly contagious and whatnot, then I was just thinking, I was like, bro, that reeks of just like a weaponized particular, like something deliberate. The way it's being spoken about, it really just but so like, but that's how these things are getting pushed out, man. It's essentially been as soon as what do you call it, C-19 started winding down, the discussion was about, okay, what's the next thing, or how are we going to prevent that? We need to standardize this. And it's funny because they set up the method, the means of how they were going to deal with it. Through how people reacted to getting the jump shots and whatnot. Then so now for the next one, it sounds like they're trying to just line it all up. So as soon as it pops up, it's like, yo, bang, comply with this, deal with this. So what does it say? Revelation 12:12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because ye know that ye have but a short time. And that's really where it is. It's these things intensify. They already gained so much ground was gained with the C-19 that it's like for the next one, it was essentially looking at like, yo, we get this, it's a wrap. They're trying to push it through, and that's why it's being discussed all of a sudden. They said that's a term that was coined in 2018. You didn't even hear about that shit like until really it was like 2021, 2022, when Bill Gates was talking about, one that comes after that'll be deadlier. And so, and the thing is as well is, regardless of the actual scale, because the same thing with C-19 is it's the reaction that they can basically have it where it's like, as long as it's a justified level of reaction, then it will get people in the mindset like, well, that's that's how you can get laws passed, that's how you can get things through. Which is the same thing happened with C-19. Hella laws got passed. They got to lock down. They got to fine you for going out and walking your dog. If you're out of the house at the wrong time, then you're getting slapped with a £300 fine. If you don't get your jump shots, then you're losing your job. These things became the normal. So what does it say? I already read that. I was gonna get. So I read the second address 15 and 14. Um, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Man, yeah, sedition among men. It's essentially going to be, with the with these what do you call it, crises, with that time, that time of Jacob's trouble, that time when it's going to be on top. It's not just going to be one what do you call it, one thing hitting at once. It's not just going to be you're just dealing with a pandemic. It's going to be various combined disasters happening at the same time. He says what? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, the men shall be afraid. Punishment. Oh, okay. Yeah, skip down. I'll go up a bit. So verse 10, 2 Esdras 15 and 10, it says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment which the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for the seed shall fall through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation." Yeah, those plagues. There's, we're dealing with the ones that aren't even written in the book, because you're going to get the curses of Egypt, but then there'll be further curses, and again, it's all going to come wrapped up in that time of Jacob's trouble. Because what does it say? Read this, Proverbs 6 and 12, and it says, "What? A naughty man, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes, he speaketh with his feet, he teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart, he deviseth mischief continually, he soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly, suddenly shall he be broken without remedy." And that's these world leaders, these guys in these chief positions. They're talking out the side of their mouth. They're speaking with a forked tongue. They're saying one thing, implying another, meaning another. They're not just out here like, oh, okay, yeah, we're looking to just do X, Y, Z. They're basically on the level of what do you call it? We're not just gonna do X, Y, Z. We're basically on the level of where they'll say things, and people won't know the fullness of it till down the line. Because just saying like, oh yeah, so there's gonna be a pandemic, this, we need to prepare for this, blah blah blah. The average person is just thinking like, oh, okay, they ain't giving it any mind. But no, the prophecies, then hey, these guys are basically speaking and letting you know what they're going down with, man. And it's not good. It's not good for the average person's. It's gonna be peak. But yeah, Matthew 24 and 4, it says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, "Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumours of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." And yeah, all these You know, famine, pestilence, earthquake. These things are the beginning of sorrows. The science let you know, like, yo, this is what the time is. And it's, you know, we've had it on a scale where it's basically dominated what people can even do on the earth. And now they're saying something worse than that's coming. And why? It's because, you know, it's the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. We're out here, you know, wanting that, you know, waiting for that time, man, to come. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, Bishop Mashiach, Bishop Makar Kadash, Shalom.